I knock on the door 3 times to my mother's house, in my head singing a war chant, a mead-fueled, drunken, murderous cry of Saxon warriors. My mom is like Beowulf. No, she is Beowulf, actually. She is Grendel also. Grendel genetically fused with Beowulf into an acid monster. She's a beast. She's this fat woman who married my cool dad and was not cool herself. My dad was extremely cool, but she definitely pissed him off, because that's why he divorced her. He didn't like people who pissed him off, and he still doesn't like people who piss him off. Those people are bad in his opinion, people who act in a way that pisses him off. He lives now in New Hampshire. He lives in a town in New Hampshire, actually, not just randomly in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is one of the 50 United States. It shares a border with the kingdom known as Canada. In Canada, they have provinces, not states. I am Canada sometimes, except when I'm not. And I mean that I'm literally Canada sometimes, like actually the country itself. New Hampshire also exists in a magical fantasy world, filled with elves, goblins, orcs, and lots of video game violence. The hideous imp, covered in boils oozing pus, the animal known as my mom, Annie Washman Ramirez, answers the door. I snicker, at the thought of her answering doors. But there she is before me, in all her Grendel and Beowulf likeness, like a sickening hillbilly, a harbinger mountain as a person. Her skin is rough like sandpaper, lumpy like mashed potatoes, shiny like the gore and viscera of a murdered ferret, a zombie monster. "Hello, sweetie. Glad you can make it," she says, but she really meant to insult my hair and accuse me of being a faggot heterosexual. "You are a cocksucker and a cuckold," I say to her, but she hears me say, "Hi, Mom." "Come in, your brother and sister are here already." I enter the house of doom, the death fortress, the prison of torments, the evil, monstrous house that is really the gut of a snake pit. I walk inside, and in the living room, or throne room of skull candy freaks, I see 25,335 people. My sister Rose, who is a cocksucker. My brother Joe, who is a cocksucker. And then there's also each of their respective significant others, all of whom are of a heterosexual nature, like all the heterosexual faggots who should not have the right to marry, or at least get cakes baked for them at the bakery of their choice. There's Willie, Rose's psychopathic shoe salesman boyfriend, who isn't really a shoe salesman, but someone who works in another field. And then there's also Melinda, Joe's psychopathic med student girlfriend, who is literally and metaphorically a medical student, the figurative and actual embodiment of someone trying to be a doctor. They all suck. They're all just bitches who don't know nothing. I wish they would all die. I want them to have their insides ripped apart by a gigantic metal ball with spikes coming out of it that will shred their insides into Swiss cheese. I am Swiss cheese. I am a gigantic block of Swiss cheese that will envelop the world and rape, pillage, and burn innocent people. Swiss cheese is all there is. It is nuclear weapons, the hand of the Russian atheist gods flying over the world, flapping their vast wings of Nikita Khrushchev feathers, and bowling ball machines, and pinball wizard cretin, hack-laminated lamppost cow mutilators. I know everything there is to know, all wisdom and intellectual knowledge from books and articles available for free on wikipedia.org. When people die, they get bleeped out of existence and experience eternal nothingness. There is no soul. We are just biological robots whose experience is an illusion. People can break on account of the biology and chemistry in their brain and must be fixed by psychiatric medication. Good people just die and cease to exist. Nothingness forever, like before you were born. That's what awaits us all. Everyone you've ever loved who has died is just bleeped out of existence, nothingness now. Completely destroyed and meaningless. Every single Jew who ever died in the Holocaust. They are experiencing an eternal atheist afterlife of oblivion. Fuck you, Joe and Rose. I want to rape you with a police baton like Abner Louima. I say to my siblings, but they hear, how are you guys doing? We're all right, George. Thanks for making it out, says Joe, my cocksucker brother. Sit down, we're having appetizers. I say, sure, but he hears, fuck you. What the hell, George, says my sister, that bitch Rose. Willie, Rose's psychopathic shoe salesman boyfriend, laughs, it's all right. I sit down on the couch next to the kids while my mom putters in the kitchen. I hate when she putters in the kitchen. What does she think she's doing in there? Cooking? Kitchens aren't meant for cooking. They're places of darkness and violence where pots and pans get abused and tortured in ovens and in stoves with the heat and stuff that burns them and sears them and melts cheese on them and other horrible, revolting things. She does all these fucked up evil things that are sadistic and motherfucking disgusting to do to pots and pans. Doesn't she realize that pots and pans think? Pots and pans have souls. We humans are biological robots with illusory consciousnesses and meaningless existences who have no experiential afterlife to speak of. But pots and pans and other cookware, these things have souls. They are built in the image of the Christian God and go to heaven upon death if they believe in Jesus. How's the job? Asked my disgusting sister, my revolting, horrible sister named Daisy. Are you still at the big insurance company? The one in Newark? What's it called? Swarthmore, you mean? Swarthmore College. That's where I work. I lie. You work for Swarthmore now? Asked my dumbass brother Joe, who is a cocksucker. I am afraid I will forget my brother's name. So I repeated in my head. His name is Joe. His name is Joe. Joe, yo. Joe Ramirez. Cocksucker extraordinaire and possibly also a cuckold to boot. Cockservative, yo, if he supported low-energy Jeb Bush. I don't work for Swarthmore. That's asinine, I say. Why would an actuary work for Swarthmore? It's a fucking higher education institution, and it's in Pennsylvania. I'm in insurance and finance stuff, yo. Don't be a cocksucker. What's gotten into you? Says Joe. I'm a new man. I'm the Night Rider, and I'm ready to eat some cranberry sauce. Cranberries are so fucking good. What do you guys need significant others for? I'm getting some cranberries tonight, I say, but they hear nothing. Willie starts giggling. He. You're so funny, George. And you, selling shoes all the time. You're a psychopath. You're abusive to shoes. Don't you know that human beings are just soulless robots who have no real consciousness or feeling because of evolution, making them out of cells and chemicals, but that shoes actually have souls and experience thoughts and feelings? Humans live in a godless scientific universe, but some types of inanimate objects live in a universe where spirituality is real. I don't say. It may appear to an outsider that we're all sitting on couches and such in the living room of a suburban house in the land of New Jersey, but we are actually on a nuclear rocket ship floating in space. It will explode soon. It will orbit the Earth and then fly directly into the sun, my son. I'm in the driver's seat and don't want to let go or change course, but there's a fucking cockservative tapping my shoulder. George gets up. My name is George. I get up. I want to go. I need some cranberry sauce. Ma'am, is the cranberry sauce done, you witch? I want some cranberry sauce. I scream at the top of my lungs until they feel like gravel, but it comes out like a whimper because I silently screamed right before that and used up all the air in my voice box. What even is a voice box? Is it like a sweet potato? My voice box is a giant alien laser beam. Sure, honey, it will be done soon. We're gonna eat in just a bit, says my mom as she putters in the kitchen and child molests the pots and pans. So how's med school? I asked Melinda, Joe's girlfriend. Have you done psychiatry yet? It must feel good to give medicine to people with broken brains so their brain organs can be less broken until they die and become dust. Did you know that cyberbullying can break people's brain chemicals and make them want to kill themselves, and that they need to be given medicine to be fixed? It's amazing. Bullying someone on social media releases some kind of laser beam that breaks all these chemicals and throws them out of order like magic or something. It makes people want to kill themselves like a defective robot. I sit back down and then sink into the couch like a muttering vortex of light. The couch is a lovely, comfy, beautiful Teddy Roosevelt bear trying to hug me and have sex with me, but I reject it. I refuse to consent to its advances because my sexual orientation is towards cranberry products only. The sauce, if I had to pick just one cranberry product. One time I had a cranberry vodka cocktail and it tasted like shoe polish. Vodka tastes like TV remotes mixed with dish soap in a blender and ruins anything it touches, even cranberry juice. Getting drunk is stupid because alcohol tastes bad. Because of its taste, alcohol has no redeeming qualities or meaningful drug effects that lower inhibitions. Anyone who says otherwise is stupid and immoral and should be sent to jail for at least 14 months with no possibility of probation or conjugal visits except with fruits or vegetables. Nonetheless, the couch keeps asking me persistently if I will consent to have sex with it, and I keep telling it no, I do not consent to have sex with it. I am not interested in it. I know the couch will not rape me, because it is not a rapist, but it sure is persistent and exercising its right to ask me for my consent so it can have sex with me. I haven't gotten to the psychiatry clinical yet, says Melinda, Joe's psychopathic girlfriend who sucks and is evil and deserves to die, but perhaps not. Still a lot of bookwork, too. Fine, I say. Dinner's almost ready, my mom says as she walks into the living room. But it will take a while for things to cool down, so maybe you can talk for a bit more. You're so lucky, George, you came in time. My mom suddenly transforms into a troll as her skin peels off, revealing gory, disgusting scales and gray, poisonous hair beneath, although I always thought she looked like that anyway, at least on the inside, spiritually, where it counted. She grows to 76 feet and eats my brother, but then my brother appears again. You know all the violence going on in Aleppo? And Syria, Joe, that's your fault. You're responsible for all those children and women dying in Syria, and the fact that they're going to get bleeped into permanent, infinite, forever atheist nothingness when they die, I say. What, George? Joe asks. You're being such a troll today. I am not the troll in this room, no.